Why not you?
Okay, well, like you get a job? Like when do you become a man? You become a man when you become responsible for other people. And part of that is taking accountability. And so like I am very new to this being a man thing. And I'm still not there. That told me going to war made you a man. Going to prison and coming back makes you a man. Making $1 million makes you a man, you know? And it doesn't. And you don't know it till you've done all these things and realize, damn, I'm still a little fucking boy. Or been around people who've been there a bunch of times.
I would say ask her out. No matter who she is, whether she's a job or a new city, an opportunity or a fear or an actual person. You know, like whatever she is, man, ask her out.
That you and I are capable of doing whatever we can see. If we can hold it in our head, we can hold it in our hand. Don't waste your life. Set your goals high. Quit thinking about what's wrong. Start thinking what's right. Love a little more, hate a little less. You have no idea what you're capable of doing. Make up your mind today, you're gonna figure it out.
You are a man. Stand up and be a man. Make the hard decisions, make the sacrifices, make the unpopular decisions, and become comfortable in your own skin. And if you are not a person that you are comfortable being alone with, that is the one person in this universe that you have full power, full right, and full responsibility to change.
If I carry on the trajectory I'm carrying on, they're gonna put me in jail because I'm too influential.
Sacrifice temporary fun for permanent dreams, or sacrifice your permanent dreams for temporary fun.
Those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream.
When they saw me in the gym in the pumping iron days, they said, why is it that you're working out so hard? 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, and you have always a smile on your face. The others are working out just as hard as you do, and they look sour. And I told people all the time, I said, because to me, I'm shooting for a goal. In front of me is the Mr. Universe title. So every rep that I do gets me closer to accomplishing that goal, to make this goal, this vision turn into reality. Every single set that I do, every repetition, every weight that I lift will get me a step closer to turn this goal into reality. So I couldn't wait to do another 500-pound squat. I couldn't wait to do another 500-pound bench press. I couldn't wait to do another 2,000 reps of sit-ups. I couldn't wait for the next exercise.
Interesting about being alive is that you're all in. No matter what you do, you're all in. This is gonna kill you. So I think you might as well play the most magnificent game you can while you're waiting, because do you have anything better to do? Really? Why not pick the best thing possible that you could do? Why not do that? Maybe you could justify your wretched existence to yourself that way. I think you could, because you're more powerful than you think. Way more powerful than you think. I mean, God only knows what you are in the final analysis. You're blind to your own weaknesses, but you're also blind to your own strengths. And then it would be better for the community. It's like, how far could you take that? If you stopped wasting time, and if you stopped lying, and if you oriented yourself to the highest possible good that you could conceive of, and you committed to that, how much good could you do? Well, I would say, why don't you find out?
I'm gonna have setbacks, I know. But if I'm feeling bad, that doesn't mean I'm doing bad. That doesn't mean I am bad. That doesn't mean that I can't still take some action. Because yeah, nothing changes if nothing changes, man.
In life, folks, you cannot change your life unless you change something. If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got.
The hardest thing in life is figuring out who you are and what you want to do for the rest of your life. And once you figure that out, you wake up every day and you work toward it. It's impossible for you to fail if you know who you are, what you want to do, and you wake up every day and work toward it.
When I seen that Bentley at the boxing gym and I seen that diamond Rolex, I said, I want that. And I knew what it took. So I know when my opponent is asleep, I'm out there at 4 or 5 in the morning, chopping trees, working. To this day, because I can retire today. I'm well off, very comfortable, but I got the will to win.
You know, you're the closest to getting what you want. It's always the hardest. It's always the feeling when you're getting ready to, you know, people give up right before they get what they've always wanted to get. People quit and they give up. So
What I do in that 1 second, because we all think about quitting, it's hard. But what you have to do in that 1 second is hard to process information during pain. Because that pain takes over and you can't think rationally. You're thinking about fight or flight, save yourself. That's not a rational thought. It's not a thought that's gonna get you through hard times. Most people fail that 1 second. So what happens, what I do in that 1 second, and there's a bigger process to all this, but in that 1 second, I physically stayed in that water. Because if I get out of the water, I quit.
It's an urge. Truth be told, every champion has felt it. Every president has felt it. Every king has felt it. Every lion has felt it. Every winner has felt it. Every soldier has felt it. Every victorious person has felt it. The urge to quit. Don't you give up on your dream.
Everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. That's the guarantee of quitting, that it will never happen, no way under the sun. The only way the possibility remains that it can happen is if you never give up no matter what. Because God is always coming. He's never too late.
The time is now. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you.
Person and work and get to the top of whatever it is that you want to get to the top of. You know, and stand up for yourself. Be a bit of a light on the world instead of a blight. You know? And you can tell young people that, and they haven't been told that by anyone now. And yeah, it might, so why don't you go do it? That's what the damn universities were supposed to be teaching people, and they've forgotten that.
If you don't fail, you're not even trying. My wife told me this great expression. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
Is that hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men. Soft men create hard times.
Les Brown's a motivational speaker. He made an analogy about this. He says, imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?
You have to live in it, you have to be comfortable in it, and then maybe some of that shit will help you a little bit along the way. And if you don't have any of this, you do not get your character tested, you do not advance in your own perception of who you are in this world and how you engage with all the other people around you.
Your life was basically the perfect grounds for training for where you need to go in your life. All the beatings, all the bullying, all the, you going through learning disabilities, all the struggles, it was the absolute perfect training ground for you to go to where you need to go. And that's how I started looking at my life versus woe is me, poopy pants, kick a rock down the street mentality. It was, nah, God just hooked you right the fuck up. I want to see that guy who immersed himself in fucking hell. And he thought about quitting and leaving and his wife and his kids, and why am I here? Is it worth it? All this crazy shit. And still said and found out a way to get through it. So basically that's the bottom line of it all. We all want to read about how we can quickly get somewhere. That's why the 6-minute abs and all sort of shit is so powerful. You may get some results from it, but they're not permanent.
Difficult things make regular life less difficult. And that sounds so simplistic, but particularly physically difficult things. Because when you do things that are physically difficult, the strain of making yourself do those things, it's very valuable. It's not just valuable like exercise and fitness and martial arts and running and whatever you're doing that's really difficult. It's not just valuable in terms of like health and the way you look, but it's also valuable for your mind.
You're going to lose sleep. You'll doubt whether it'll work. You'll stress to make ends meet. You won't finish your to-do list. You'll wonder whether you made the right call and have no way to know for years. This is what hard feels like, and that's okay. Everything worth doing is hard, and the more worth doing it is, the harder it is. The greater the payoff, the greater the hardship. If it's hard, good. It means no one else will do it. More for you.
I can't catch a break, guys. Yeah. Get them the fuck away from me. I can't be around those guys. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't buy it. Because everybody has bad breaks. Yeah. I've had a shit ton of bad breaks. But you know what I did? I stayed up. Yeah. And I thought through it. And I figured out what the fuck I did wrong. And then I went back. It's like I fucked up everything I've ever done 100 times. There's no other way to do it. And I've had a bunch of shitty breaks. Everybody has. But you got to realize when you have those shitty breaks what that is. It's an opportunity for you to reassess, reboot, get better, figure out another way, find another way through. It's just little challenges. Bro, you got to fucking stop. You got to stop with all this I can't catch a break bullshit. All the time you're complaining, you could be instead hustling. You could be instead chasing your dream. You could be instead figuring out what you're doing wrong, trying to improve certain aspects of your life, getting your shit together, reading a book, meditating, something, fucking something. I make myself do things that are very uncomfortable, that I don't want to do. And by doing that, I develop this strength and perseverance. And some people hear that and like, I don't even want to do that. I don't want to take a fucking nap. You're exhausting me. They're like, I'm not you. I don't want to do that. And they just like, it takes them away from that. And I'm like, you don't even have to do that. Mm-hmm. Just go for a fucking walk every day. It sounds like it's easy to do, but when that walk comes, when you look at your clock, oh, it's 8 o'clock, time to go for that walk. You're like, I don't want to walk. I would just rather play video games. I don't want to walk. I'd rather like read emails. I don't want to walk. I'd rather like scroll through TikTok. But if you just force yourself to go for that fucking walk every day, you will develop mental perseverance. You will develop some tenacity. You'll develop the ability to force yourself into work.
You know, some of y'all are motivated by broke. I'm broke, I'm stuck, I'm fucked up, I can't do nothing. Some of y'all are motivated by just wanting to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. Other folks are motivated by materialistic things. It's a very simple concept. If you want it, you gotta go get it. Go get it. Go get it.
I'm able to just extract dopamine, the good dopamine whenever I want. Man, I've trained 99% of my life alone. No one pat me on the back. I did all of the work alone. And while I'm still hard on myself, I know what I did. So whenever times get bad, people, all this, who's gonna carry the boats and luck? That's real. I hate that people know me for that guy, because that guy is not every fucking day. Like when they see me, they want that energy. That's not me every day. I can extract it immediately when I need to, because when you train alone, and I lived alone for so many years in this misery, and you're able to get out by yourself, I can take myself to such a level of real passion and purpose, and like the feeling I get is something I can't even explain by myself. I don't need anyone. That's why people come to me to motivate them. No one can motivate me.
The bottom line is, no one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. No one's coming to tell you to get out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to tell you to apply for that job that you've always dreamt about. Nobody's coming to write the business plan for you. It's up to you. And because you're only ever going to do the things that you feel like doing right now, or that feel good right now, unless you understand that you've got to parent yourself, you got to push yourself, you're not going to make your dreams come true. You're just not. We're not wired that way. You weren't born that way. You weren't that way when you were growing up, and you're certainly not that way as an adult.
It's time to stay focused. It's time to decide, fuck clubs, fuck partying, fuck trying to fit in and socialize.
rub elbows with everybody so people can stop calling you weird. Why are you so antisocial? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you staying on the basketball court so much? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you out there practicing in the hot sun when ain't nobody else out there? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you not clubbing? Like every time I text you and invite you to go do something fun and cool, you always studying. Because I'm trying to get it. Let me tell you something, homie. These women ain't going nowhere. These clubs, these parties, all this shit ain't going nowhere. The more weird you are is a reflection of how committed you are to focusing on your shit, molding and shaping and developing your ideas and your craft so that when it's time for you to make your rounds, you gon' fly. Stop running around here trying to live up to the hype, homie. You ain't got it. You ain't got it. Stop fronting. And I'm not coming at y'all on any other level but keeping it real. The life that I live, I deserve this life because I worked my ass off to get it. Y'all out here running around creating this smoke on the brink of destruction, and it's all self-inflicted. You did it to yourself. Trying to live up to the hype and create the smoke that you doing. You ain't doing it. You still got work to do. Stay on that basketball court. Stay on that football field. Fuck all the homies texting and calling and trying to make you feel bad about being so focused. It's grind season, homie. It's not about today. It's about the future. You do the work now.
Now, and I promise you, every single person who wants to do something with their life and has done something with their life has gone through the exact chapter that you're going through. And it's the lonely chapter. It's the chapter where you don't fit in with your own friends, but you don't have the outcomes yet to fit into a new group of friends. And you're doing this thing, you're consuming content on the internet, you're doing these free tutorials online to try and figure out how to set up a podcast and where do I host this thing? And then you're going through this and you're like, is this even worth it? Because you have no signs of success, right? But if there's anything that you can take away from what we're saying right now is that the sign of success is the hate that you get along the way. And what you can't do is bend the knee to their hate and fit back into the conformity because it's comfortable and it's warm. Because like in the Matrix, when Trinity opens the door, when Neo's about to go take the red pill and he wants to get out of the car, she says, Neo, you've been down that road and you know exactly where it leads. And I know that's not where you want to be. And then he closes the door. Like right now, this moment that you're going through is Trinity opening the door and being like, you could go back, but then you'd have to remember exactly what the reason was that you decided not to go out to begin with, just because you listen to this podcast and you consume this content, you're like, I can fucking do more than this. Like, because you are starting to live in some of that hell where you look in the mirror and you're like, I can do more. And you start to see the person that you could be. And you're like, this does start to feel like hell.
So whenever shit gets nasty, David Goggins goes, you had nobody anyway, motherfucker. So see how I'm talking myself right now? That's me. That shit fires me the fuck up. That shit makes me fucking nuts. You had nobody anyway, motherfucker. Look around you. There was no fucking team. It was you. There was no weight loss program or mom and dad waking you up saying you can do it, you can be better, trying to build belief. You built belief when you had nothing. Rock bottom. You did that. So as times get hard for me, the truth comes out. And my truth is powerful as fuck. It's real. It's tangible. Feel it. It comes out of my brain as I speak about it. I'm reliving every single dark moment of my life to be here. So that is what people don't get. That is what motivates David Goggins, is the unseen work. But everybody needs that pat on the back. They need that training partner. They need that accountability coach. I don't need that shit. And neither do they. But it's what we've trained ourselves to believe that we need. If you want to be great, you want to be the baddest motherfucker ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so fucking obsessed and so driven to get there. And that's what it takes.
That's the truth.
It takes every second of your fucking life. Anybody says balance? Yeah, balance is important for a lot of fucking people. It is. But if you want to fucking go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you fucking do, you've arrived. When you are misunderstood to the point where fucking people think you're psycho and you're nuts and you're this and that, why are you in the fucking gym at 1 o'clock in the fucking morning? You just got through doing an op for fucking 13, 14 hours after Ranger School, man, at the gym. What is wrong? You will never understand what is wrong with me. And that's why I'm so fucking glad you don't, because I'm in the right fucking spot. When people don't understand you anymore, you're in that spot of obsession and drive, where people are like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? I don't want to talk to you, man, because you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it.
Boom.
Don't want you to get it.
Yeah.
Don't want you to get it.
People only root for people who don't need it. Like, the amount of times when I was on my lonely path, where I was too different from the friends that I had, but not successful enough to be friends with the people that I wanted to be friends with. That's when you want people to root for you. That's when you want people to support you. Once you've already won, people are like, he's amazing, he's so good. But like, that's the time when you need it the least. And so you always have to be the person who roots for you before everyone else does. And it's usually a single clap in the auditorium for a very long period of time. It is a slow clap that's just you rooting for you. And that visual, I think, is one that you can kind of take, because it is, people struggle to do things alone. And the path of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means that you are not with other people. And rather than fighting that or bemoaning it, see it as an indicator that you're on the right path. Because if everyone else were cheering you on, then it means you're not in the right place, because it means you're just like everyone else, and that's not where you want to be.
The one thing that made me who I am today is being vulnerable. It's breaking myself down to the absolute rock bottom and being able to tell people who I am. And that's how I fixed it. Literally, you know, life created this person, me. Life created me to be this fucked up person that I was back in the day. And I had to realize, man, that's okay, man. It's not my fault. Now I gotta go back and fix this shit though. So a lot of this isn't your fault, why you do some things you do, why you feel the way you feel. But no one's coming back to save your ass. You have to go back to where this shit started, wherever that place is for everybody, and have the courage to go back there and start fixing what broke you.
You go back into your childhood and you go, what was it that made me so different, that was so weird about me? What was it that I was attracted to? As you go through that process, things will start coming up. It's like you're digging, you're excavating, you're an archaeologist into your own past.
What would have had to have happened in a week for you to look back on that week with pride? Okay, maybe stop breaking promises to yourself. When you say, I'm going to wake up tomorrow at 7 a.m., and when the option comes to hit the snooze button, don't do it. There's one win that you've got for the day. That's action.
The path of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means that you are not with other people. And rather than fighting that or bemoaning it, see it as an indicator that you're on the right path. Because if everyone else were cheering you on, then it means you're not in the right place, because it means you're just like everyone else, and that's not where you want to be.
When you were born, you are a phenomenon. You are unique. Your DNA has never occurred in the history of the universe, going back billions of years. It will never occur in the future. Your life experiences with your parents and everything that you experience in your early years going on up is unique. It's yours. You're one of a kind, right? So that is your source of power. To waste that is just the worst thing you can do in your life. And what the power is finding that uniqueness. What makes you you, and how you can mine that, and how you can go deep into it and use that to create a career path.
When it comes to like individuality, right? Yeah. What is a good way for people to start to get to know themselves? Does it make sense to you what I'm asking?
Yeah, it does. Well, I keep coming back to something that I tell a lot of people I think is very important, is the desire to know yourself.
If you cannot obtain from the world that which you really desire, you must teach yourself not to want it. If you cannot get what you want, you must teach yourself to want what you can get.
So people are very good at faking it. And you could be out there listening and go, yeah, I kind of want to know myself better. Okay, let me get online and get, they just forget about it because the other forces are stronger than them. You have to have a level, that if you're in recovery, a level of disgust. You have to hit bottom.
Yeah.
You have to go, I don't want to be like this anymore. I want to find out who I am. I want to touch that core of individuality that I know is still within me, that soul that I believe is still there.
Life is not going to get easier. You're going to lose your mother. You're going to lose your father. People are also going to hurt you even though you don't even know what you did wrong. Things like this are going to happen in this lifetime. To wait for better times to come where the world will be completely in peace and you can walk peacefully over the street, never having the fear that somebody's going to come and do something to you. It's not going to happen. The world is just the way as it is. If we don't create the better times, nothing's going to happen. Once the cup is empty, now it can be filled up again. The easy answer would right now be learn how to meditate, okay? But to really bring it into perspective right now.
Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
So many people are just so fucking obvious. They don't even realize that when they box me in or try to verbally put me in some type of box or put Donda in a box, that they're really showing their level of ignorance. They're putting themselves in a box. And people can write all they want, but what are people doing? And if there's anybody that's out there doing, they know how hard it is to actually do. And I'm like a motivation of the doers. If everything I did failed, which it doesn't, it actually succeeds, but if everything I did failed, just the fact that I'm willing to fail is an inspiration. People are so scared to lose that they don't even try. Like, one thing that people can't say is they can't say, I'm not trying. It's crazy that we live in a world that if you're super positive and super creative, that it's scary. So what does that tell you about the mentality of most people? If you're scared of positivity and creativity, I have no intent to do anything negative to anyone. I only want more positive things to happen. It's crazy that we live in a world that if you're super positive and super creative, that it's scary. So what does that tell you about the mentality of most people? If you're scared of positivity and creativity, I have no intent to do anything negative to anyone. I only want more positive things to happen.
When she won the title the first time, when I was interviewing her, one of the things she was saying is just, we have to be better people. She had this message while I was interviewing her in the cage after winning a fight. And she's like, we got to be nicer to each other. That was her message. It's about transcending whatever you think you are and becoming something better. That's what it's about.
And when you move forward, life may get better, it may not, but somewhere along the lines it's gonna click. And everything that I went through back here was supposed to happen so that now that I'm here, I'm able to go ahead with such a high level of knowledge, and I can make other people better. I can make myself better. I can do more for my family. Something happens.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
You can see me. Get out of here, bud. And you matter, alright? There's always gonna be somebody that cares about you. And you're a good person. No matter what people say, you matter.
The thing is, if you just do stuff and nothing happens, what's it all mean? What's the point? Oh, right, this whole thing is about self-acceptance.
I would say ask her out. No matter who she is, whether she's a job or a new city or or an actual person. You know, whether she's an opportunity or a fear.
And when you move forward, life may get better, it may not, but somewhere along the lines it's gonna click. And everything that I went through back here was supposed to happen so that now that I'm here, I'm able to go ahead with such a high level of knowledge, and I can make other people better. I can make myself better. I can do more for my family. Something happens.
When she won the title the first time, when I was interviewing her, one of the things she was saying is just, we have to be better people. She like had this message while I was interviewing her in the cage after winning a fight. And she's like, we gotta be nicer to each other. That was her message. It's about transcending whatever you think you are and becoming something better. That's what it's about.
You expect perfection. I don't know where this came from. I don't know what happened that this is the criteria for living. My true understanding is, all right, you got one life. And that one life, the goal for us is to live it to the best of our ability from the beginning to what's said the end. In the middle, in the beginning, middle, you're gonna do things, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna fuck up. You're supposed to learn and then move forward with the understanding of what not to do.
And it's not just me that's got better. The world is undeniably a better place because of the sort of person that I've become. I'm a better friend, I'm a better son, I'm a better boss, I'm a better partner. I've had the fortune of reaching tens of millions of people on this podcast, and I've given TEDx talks, and I've improved the texture of my own daily existence because of the process that your work triggered. You do not know the depth of impact that your work has had. And if the option had been there, I, and probably a lot of other people, would have happily taken on our share of your suffering over the last year if it would have somehow helped as a thank you for how you've helped us. So, thank you.
Now it's all diseases of abundance. We are overexposed to everything. So the way to survive in modern society is to be an ascetic. It is to retreat from society. There's too much society everywhere you go. Society in your phone, society in your pocket, society in your ears. And when I was growing up, there was this statement, I think it was Pascal, he said, you know, all of man's problems arise because he cannot sit by himself in a room for 30 minutes alone.
Ignore them, they're losers. The ding dong did to you. I'm just trying to say something nice. Like, I don't know what they're doing, they're running away and stuff. I'm just trying to say that you matter, man. Or girl, whoever you are, you matter to someone. Just keep that in mind, don't forget that.
But I'm so grateful to be sitting here with you, and we got a nice little episode here. And yeah, I'm just feeling full, man. I'm feeling full of hope. As much as I don't want to be, sometimes I don't want to be hopeful. You know, there's a part of me sometimes don't want to be hopeful. You won't see me down there by the hope pond, putting hope meat on my hope hook and just hoping I catch something. You won't. So I don't want to be hopeful sometimes. I just feel like I'm not alone. Like in the beginning, I don't know where I'm at, but at the end, I don't know where we're at. And man, it sounds like it sounds like it's still lost. But before I was lost by myself, and now I'm lost. I'm lost as a group. And that seems a lot more hopeful.
Failure has been achieved, thank God. Now, the only place to go from failure is to win. You have to achieve failure. You have to take it that far. Nobody wants to go that far. It's too scary. But you know something? I got news for you. That's where winning is. It always has been. Nothing's changed since the 70s. Nothing. Except people train not as hard.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children.
There was probably 100 days where I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to stay in the pool or stay in my bed and not get out. But those were the days where you have to. You have to get up and do something, because I think that's really what separates the good from the great. The greats do things when they don't always want to do them.
I can see my kid, they have 12 years old. The mentality, they are not the same. They are not suffer that.
What's the difference?
The anger. I think the anger. I think that they have the things more easily. Everything it's easily. They don't suffer.
Because you have to understand, this next 5-year window is when you don't go practical and safe. This is not the time to get the job mom wanted you to.
I've never been more alone. I have nothing. No one. All right, it's all gone.
I warn you. You break your heart.
Already broke.
That will be my legacy. Instead of me, there will be money. Because for most of the people who are close to me, that is what I am.
I'm nothing. Why would you want me, huh?
Maybe you just liked me when I was on my ass because it made you feel better about yourself.
I liked it. I was good at it. And I was really... I was alive.
When there's a breakup, it's exceedingly hard, especially if the person is young. Why? Because the relationship represents the whole future. They have no concept that they know there are other people, but it sort of feels like the whole world is shutting down.
Why?
Why what?
Why don't you want to do it anymore?
If you got separated from the tribe, if you were alone, you were depressed and anxious for a really fucking good reason. You were about to be eaten. Right?
Yes.
You were in terrible danger. If you got injured, no one helped you, you would die. Being acutely lonely is as stressful as being punched in the face by a stranger.
You afraid of death, by the way? Yes. It's hard because, like, what if you just die and then you just see nothing forever, you know? Yeah, the nothing. It just fades to blackness and you're just like that for trillions upon trillions to billion squared years. And
accept the pain. Smile at the pain. Embrace the pain. Pain is the gatekeeper of destiny.
When I'm hurt, I love it. I love that feeling because it's real. That's the most realest feeling that you could ever have, is being in pain.
Go find pain. Most of the time, you're gonna find a reason. If you think something is gonna hurt or it's scary to you, that's probably what you should be doing. You know, whether it's going to the gym, if it's going to talk to that girl that nobody else will go talk to because she's too pretty.
My philosophy is, why be normal when you can be the best? I don't want to be normal. I want to make the difference. So everything I do, I want to make the difference. Because when I make the difference, I'm the best.
Just did our job, defended home court. You know, last 2 series we didn't do that. Put ourselves in jeopardy, having to go on the road and win a game 3. And here we managed to do it. Now it's time to go to Orlando and see if we can't give them.
Still waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Every single man of value went through trauma, and they went through pain. It's going to be painful to get strong, painful to get rich, painful to become important. It's going to be painful to become good with women. Your heart's going to get broken a bunch of times. You have to be prepared for the pain. If you're not ready for pain, you're never going to be anything that matters.
And, you know, the Mamba mentality simply means trying to be the best version of yourself. That's what the mentality means. It means every day you're trying to become better. And it's a constant quest. It's an infinite quest. It's just a matter of what's important to you. And what's important to you. For whatever reason, you know, I felt like I didn't feel good about myself if I wasn't doing everything I could to be the best version of myself. If I felt like I left anything on the table, it would eat away at me. I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror. Right? So the reason why I can retire now and be completely comfortable about it, because I know that I've done everything I could to be the best basketball player I could be.
Whenever I face anything that's challenging, whenever anything sucks, I like it. I like it. It's gonna make me tougher. It's gonna give me a good story to tell. It's gonna toughen my mind.
Go do something that's painful whether it be from physical pain or fear. And most of the time, if you can find that and go towards it, go looking for that pain, especially at that young age when your testosterone's so high, then you're probably doing the right thing. You're probably on the right path. Do that.
So whenever shit gets nasty, David Goggins goes, "We had nobody anyway, motherfucker." So see how I'm talking myself right now? That's me. That shit fires me the fuck up. That shit makes me fucking nuts. We had nobody anyway, motherfucker. Look around you. There was no fucking team. It was you. There was no weight loss program or mom and dad waking you up saying you can do it, you can be better, trying to build belief. You built belief when you had nothing.
I used to ask myself, can I do this? And something said within me, you're the one. You're the one. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. While you're here, and before you go back home to your respective cities and communities, write down at least 5 reasons on why you deserve your dream, on why you won't give up, what's going to make you unstoppable, why you must be unreasonable, because logical, practical thinking says you can't do it today. But if you want to produce unreasonable results in your life, like living your dream and taking charge of your destiny, you've got to be an unreasonable person. You've got to be an uncommon person.
You can see me. Get out of here, bub. And you matter, alright? There's always gonna be somebody that cares about you. And you're a good person. No matter what people say, you matter.
The thing is, if you just do stuff and nothing happens, what's it all mean? What's the point? Oh right, this whole thing is about self-acceptance.
1 in a million, you know? I mean, you actually sit down and talk to me, you know? Most people don't get me. But it's all right, you know, when it comes down to it, I came in this world by myself, and when I die, I'm gonna be the only one in that coffin. And so really all I guess that matters is me, I guess. I don't know. I think people matter, but the more I'm starting to see, less and less.
You matter, bro.
I feel that way about you too, man. I mean, you care. It's sad to see that most people don't.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
If I pull that off, will you die?
It would be extremely painful.
You're a big guy.
For you.
Larry, what do you think the meaning of life is?
Work. It's important to be useful. Look at me. I got it all figured out. I get up, I shower, I come to work, I work all day, I go home, I go to sleep. I get up, I shower, I come to work, I work all day, I go home, I go to sleep. I get up, I shower, I come to work.
Grant, I heard a story about 2 farmers who desperately needed rain. And both of them prayed for rain, but only one of them went out and prepared his fields to receive it. Which one do you think trusted God to send the rain?
Well, the one who prepared his fields for it.
Which one are you? God will send the rain when he's ready. You need to prepare your field to receive it.
I mean, you can't, look, it's a gift and a curse. You can't want the bells and whistles and not understand the sacrifices that come with it. The work that goes into building things, sometimes you gotta be hands-on until you don't have to be. And the grind that goes with that is one that's necessary.
And what the you need to sit there and realize, whoa. I have a few years of consciousness, and even less than that, I have a few short years as a young man, because age will damage you. I mean, if you're a millionaire when you're 60, it's not nearly as good as being a millionaire at my age. I became a millionaire at 28. So you need to realize you've got a few short years as a young man, you're wasting it.
So how you gonna knock somebody in the world for actually trying to do something, trying? Since when has it become not cool to try? Fucking loser.
I'm not used to this shit, man. Why is so much people? You're not used to what? You're not used to, you know why people are with you right now? Because there's a natural vibe, man. And what you talking about, you're not used to it. By the way, get used to it. It's called progression. It's called an elevator that's going up. Bro, it's gonna be trials and tribulations where it's gonna test you to stop right here. And what's gonna separate you from everybody else is will you keep going or will you just stop?
Once I quit, I literally worked every single day for a year and a half straight, And even when I missed a day, after that, a year and a half straight, I felt like I fucking let myself down. And this, man, God is my witness. When I quit my 9-to-5 job, I only worked there for 28 days. I knew it wasn't for me. I quit my 9-to-5, and from the moment I stepped foot out there, when I walked out, I went a year and a half straight of working towards where I am now. And then when I missed a day, I felt sick. Like, damn, nigga, you ain't doing enough. Nigga, how the fuck you manage to miss today when you know what the fuck you working towards?
You can do whatever you want. The world is yours. And I'm telling the young cats, our generation, don't discriminate against anybody, because we're all one generation. And that's some important shit, yo. I mean, who would have thought a ghetto kid with gold teeth and French braids from the hood would be in Vogue and GQ on the same month, at the same time, about the same. And that's when you got to figure out what's right for you, you know what I mean? And, you know, just because that's my thing, you know, and if it is your thing, you know, figure it out, do what you got to do, you know. I did what I did, and I made it in a positive way. I feel like anybody could do it, straight up.
Don't give up, because a year ago, I was finna quit this shit. Like, it was gonna be like a hobby instead of a passion, you know? Because, I mean, I feel like after a certain point in an artist, whether they want to admit it or not, if they're not seeing results, they're gonna start doubting themselves. But I'm glad I kept going, because look, now, like, shit's paying off. So I think the main advice I give myself is just to not give up and keep striving.
This is hard work. Chat, I gotta say, bro, chat, I'm tired, bro. I'ma keep saying it over and over. I'm tired, bro. I don't care. Never get tired, bro. Never get tired, chat. Never, ever. Whatever you wanna do, you can do it. Y'all seen it happen here first. Word to my mother, you seen it happen here, day first.
You talk to people and they're content. They're like, oh, I'm happy with what I've got. I'm like, why? Because there's people who have a whole bunch more than you. And I was never content having a normal life. I wanted an exceptional life. I didn't want a normal car, a normal house, a normal girlfriend. I didn't want none of that. I was like, no. There's dudes out here that have the best. Why do they deserve the best and I don't deserve the best? I really believe that. And this is something I've always had inside me. I just didn't understand why I couldn't have the best stuff.
Me alone in the gym, me alone in the mirror, me alone in my head. No one did it for me. I worked for it, and I'm never gonna let someone else take that from me.
Your dreams is a lonely, solitary, scary, dangerous pursuit. You can't wait for somebody to think you can do it. And it's like, because they don't think you can do nothing they can't do.
Exactly, bingo.
Right? You know what I mean? It's like, it's a lonely, scary, dangerous pursuit, and you got to be willing to risk everything to become that seed of what you believe is in there. You got to be fearless, you got to be relentless.
If you think about the difference between winners and losers, winners define themselves by what they made happen, and losers define themselves by what happened to them. And every single person who wants to do something with their life and has done something with their life has gone through the exact chapter that you're going through. And it's the lonely chapter. It's the chapter where you don't fit in with your own friends, but you don't have the outcomes yet to fit into a new group of friends. And you're doing this thing, you're consuming content on the internet, you're doing these free tutorials online to try and figure out how to set up a podcast and where do I host this thing? And then you're going through this and you're like, is this even worth it? Because you have no signs of success, right? But if there's anything that you can take away from what we're saying right now, is that the sign of success is the hate that you get along the way. And what you can't do is bend the knee to their hate and fit back into the conformity because it's comfortable and it's warm. Because like in the Matrix, when Trinity opens the door, when Neo's about to go take the red pill and he wants to get out of the car, she says, Neo, you've been down that road and you know exactly where it leads. And I know that's not where you want to be. And then he closes the door. Like right now, this moment that you're going through is Trinity opening the door and being like, you could go back, but then you'd have to remember exactly what the reason was that you decided not to go out to begin with, just because you listen to this podcast and you consume this content, you're like, I can do more than this. Like, because you are starting to live in some of that, how where you look in the mirror and you're like, I can do more. And you start to see the person that you could be. And you're like, this does start to feel like hell.
The more time you spend alone with yourself, the more time that you will be able to understand who you are. When I mean understand who you are, I'm talking about without any outside interference, without any friends, without any peer pressure of wanting to be like someone else. The more time you spend alone, you're gonna figure out, okay, what your purpose is. And I say that because of this. God will talk to you. You start seeking in those moments of not having any outside distractions. What happens is things become clear. Clarity sets in. And you're able to make decisions not based on what you saw that day or what you heard that day or what that person may have said to you. You're able to make decisions based on how you feel internally. Okay? So number one, we have
winners always show up. They're willing to lose in order to gain. Big mental thing there, guys. This body, as great as you are, as sharp as you make the arsenal, it can't do anything if you don't have confidence in yourself. We all fall down in life. The question is, who gets back up? You go after and you give it all you have. If you lose, at least you tried, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena. When you guys find a fear, that fear will either create you or destroy you. I love fear, and the reason why, behind every fear is a person you want to be. Fear is self-imposed, meaning it doesn't exist. You create it, you can destroy it too. It's an intangible. If you face your fears, guys, you will realize it's not that big. And once you face it, you go, oh my God, man, I spent all this time running from it. It was so small. If I just faced it, my God, not only did I face it, I beat it back, energy is never lost, transferred. That negative energy, that fear, is destroyed. It comes back in as confidence. You're like, what else am I capable of? What else am I holding my back from that I'm capable of more? What am I running from I don't need to? What else can I overcome? You face your fears, you become the person you want to be. You run from your fears, you're not living. You're alive.
It's funny because a lot of us want traits, right? We want to be patient, we want to be humble, we want to be, long-suffering, whatever words you want to use. But in order to, if I would say, hey, how would you if you had to create a human, what would you put them through to make them tough? It probably wouldn't be a really chill life.
Yeah.
What would you put them through to make them patient? You probably wouldn't give them things immediately. And so it's like we want these traits, but each of the traits has a price tag attached to it. And it's just like, do you want to pay the price tag to get the thing? And so I think if people reframed the period of life that they're going through as the price that they're paying out of their wallet, but the wallet is their time, it's the seconds of life that they're trading for it, then I think more people will be willing to make the trade. Because at least when I look at myself, like when I'm 80 something years old and I'm looking back on my life, I want to have these traits. But in order to have those traits, I know I have to go through these things. And I think for me, that's given me a lot of comfort in hard times.
Get to you, but what people call love is just a chemical reaction that compels animals to breed. It hits hard, Morty, then it slowly fades, leaving you stranded in a failing marriage. I did it, your parents are gonna do it. Break the cycle, Morty. Rise above. Focus on science.
The key in life is to lie to yourself about reality. Smile through everything. All the bad things, well, you just pile them away in a place that will come back one day in the form of, I don't know, rage? But everything's fine. I'll see you in bed.
Listen, man, you may have given up on yourself, but your friends haven't given up on you. Are you just gonna turn your back on them and sit and eat borscht the rest of your life? Or are you gonna get out there and jump through that tiny little hoop?
It is impossible.
It was always impossible, Vitaly. That's why the people loved it.
That is why I loved it. Because I did the impossible. I was once a brave tiger. And if I go down in flames, so be it. The fuck I don't. I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just because you don't like the way another nigga talk.
You spend time with your family?
Sure I do.
Good. Because a man who doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man.
But I can't go out on the track and do the same old thing. It won't work.
Then change it up. Try something new.
I don't know, Sally.
Don't fear failure. Be afraid of not having the chance. You have the chance. Doc didn't. And you can either take it, or you can do what you've been doing, sitting in here for months.
Can I ask you a question? Hell, you got to ask me, Mr. Stewicki, the one you got the questions for. How come you ain't never liked me? Like? Don't you eat every day? Answer me when I talk to you. Don't you eat every day? Yeah. Nigga, as long as you in my house, you put a sir on the end of it when you talk to me. Yes, sir. You eat every day. Yes, sir. Got a roof over your head. Yes, sir. Got clothes on your back. Yes, sir. Why you think that is? Because of you? Hell, I know it's because of me. But why do you think that is? Because you like me? Like you. I go out of here every morning. I bust my butt, put me in practice every day. His family, you live in my house. Because I like you, because it's my duty to take care of you. I owe a responsibility to you.
You know, they say we die twice. Once when the breath leaves our body, and once when the last person we know says our name. Hirsch's life will be forgotten, like all the other poor fucks that ever had the glory of living.
Just relax and enjoy it. You know, my father used to say, whatever you do it 100%. When you work, work. When you laugh, laugh. When you eat like it's your last meal. You want another piece? Here, have a breast. Delicious. Take it. Here.
Listen, this is what I learned. Everybody that you fight is not your enemy, and everybody that helps you is not your friend.
I said it last year. We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
If you don't want, go back to Dagestan. Nobody gonna ask about yourself. If without you or with you, there is always gonna be champions. With your name, this is your choice. You wanna put your name there? Okay, work hard. No? Bye-bye.
And secondly, if those blowhards with their blow darts want to come at me, they can send anybody they want, but don't send anybody you want back.
Nate Diaz, you just shook up the world. How's that feel? Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
The question, Raymond, was what did you want to be?
Answering, Raymond. Jesus.
Veterinarian. Animals. Yeah, animals. Good stuff. Yeah, I got that. That means you have to get more schooling. Too much school. Would you rather be dead?
No.
Would you rather die here on your knees in the back of a convenience store? If you're not on your way to becoming a veterinarian in 6 weeks, you will be dead. Run, Forrest, run! Tomorrow will be the most beautiful day of Raymond Castle's life. His breakfast will taste better than any meal you and I have ever tasted.
Yeah. I don't care how good you are in anything, you don't have discipline, you ain't nobody. Right. You're nothing without discipline, because you give up under the slightest struggle without discipline. 100%. I mean, discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
A true martial artist is a peaceful man.
Right.
A true martial artist is peaceful. But don't fucking push me.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't fucking push me.
And you wanna become world champion, it doesn't matter who's your opponent. Bring King Kong. If he can make 155, I'm gonna fight with him.
I'm not scared of these guys. These guys think they intimidate me, and they think that I think that they're scared. Oh well, if they're scared, that's on them. I'm gonna bring the pain to them, and that's all it is. Then we go see how tough you are. Tough guy. I like tough guys. All the time in prison, I always ran to these guys. They were tough. When they were in, they ain't tough. When they get confronted, they ain't tough. When I bring that pain to them, they ain't tough. They ain't never. They think they know they've been around crazy. Oh no, they don't know one. They don't know crazy. No, they really don't.
As advertised, we knew it was going to be a war. Was there anything about that fight that was surprising to you?
No, I knew exactly what it was. He is a warrior. We were
We're living in the wrong times, let me tell you. Me and him should have been fighting to death in a Coliseum. That's what should have happened.
You have to see training for what it is. Training is about skill development, not about winning or losing. You've got to understand that you don't need to win every battle. You only need to win the battles that count. And the battles that count are in the World Championship finals, okay? That's the one that counts.
Stripping that all back to the start of your career, a man with a dream, training in the gym day in, day out. If somebody said to you, you'll have or you'll be as successful as you are now, what would you had said back then?
I believe you. That's what I would have said. Because I did believe.